Normally, scientists come to my studio, but today I'm meeting them on their own ground, playing the explorer alongside them. I'm Mathieu Vidard. I host a radio show. Today I'm taking you on a journey to Gabon. Follow me on an adventure filled with wild animals. It might come with its share of risks, but trust me, it's an experience worth having. Meet Aline, the veterinarian, and her right-hand man, Charlie, the tattooed driver. Together, they dedicate their efforts to protecting endangered species. There's nothing easier than getting to this remote corner of southeastern Gabon. Just a 7-hour plane ride, followed by a 13-hour journey on an old train, then half a day in a 4x4 across the bumpy trails of the Bataké Plateaus. The equatorial forest stretches across 80% of the Gabonese landscape. For researchers worldwide, it's an incredible stomping ground. However, it can sometimes be treacherous, as hidden within its breathtaking beauty are ticking time bombs capable of wiping out humanity. These bombs come in the form of viruses like HIV/AIDS or Ebola. But first, I felt it essential to acquaint myself with the marvelous creatures that Aline works tirelessly to protect, deep within the heart of the forest. So, Hélène, your day's about to begin.
Oh, for sure.
It's time for you to take care of your children.
My 5 little ones.
Your 5 bundles of joy. How old are they?
They range from 1 year to 3.5. 4 adorable girls and 1 little boy.
I'll come along with you.
Yes, come with me. I'll take you along.
Aline is the mother of a big family, and she carefully tends to her children in a highly protected nursery, away from the paths used by poachers. As you can tell, Aline is about to introduce us to some rather special little ones this morning, and she has very specific safety rules in place. We'll be keeping our voices down because, obviously, we're strangers to the inhabitants of this park. I can't wait to meet them.
So this is the small area where we prepare the milk, bottles, and clean the equipment. We follow a few rules when it comes to hygiene. Like this, for example. We have to wash our hands before and after each time.
I'm about to have breakfast with Aline's children. The routine is set in stone. Every morning, the same people take care of preparing the bottles. Ensuring the little ones feel completely safe is of utmost importance. In fact, their caretakers, dressed in camouflage gear, look like bodyguards.
So this is what they get in the morning, and in the evening we do the same thing before bringing them back inside. We call them over with their little cups. Hey there, big boy. Hey, Coco. You can come with me. We're just going to calmly follow them, okay? All right, let's go.
There you go. I've met the kids. So these are the baby gorillas that Aline takes care of here. It's quite surprising how the male gorilla immediately approached me, because I was a complete stranger to him this morning. They're incredibly curious, as you can see. Aline advised me not to stare too much and to maintain a low profile. Now we're heading into the forest to play with them and witness their tree climbing skills as they forage for food.
He'll like that. Yeah, just climb onto your back. And don't worry, he'll balance himself. Come on, boy.
Allow me to introduce you to Coco, Udiki, Lituli, Seka, and Tanya, 5 healthy-looking baby gorillas. Some of these babies come from an English animal protection foundation. As for the others, their parents were killed by poachers in the region. Hélène made it clear to me that even the slightest stress can make them aggressive. So it's best to appear calm and relaxed in front of them. Be natural, my dear Mathieu. Be natural. I must say, your children are very gentle and they smell really nice. Hélène, how did your gorilla protection project come to life?
The project was developed by John Aspinall, an English billionaire who made his fortune through casinos and had a passion for wildlife. He initially built a zoo centered around endangered species, with the dream of breeding them and eventually reintroducing them back into their natural habitats.
So what is a gorilla's natural habitat?
Here it's quite unique because there's a lot of savanna, but also forest along the riverside with lots of fruit trees. They do use the savanna, not for feeding, but for going from one side of the forest to the other.
I've become great friends with Udiki, the little male in the group. Hélène teaches these baby gorillas how to survive. Until the age of 3, without their parents, they're unable to look after themselves. Every day, she takes them on walks to show them edible fruits and vital survival skills. It's like teaching them the art of shopping in the forest. Without these skills, they are destined to perish. Once the gorillas become independent, they are moved to the other side of the river to begin their new life in the wild completely on their own. If they manage that, it means the Gorilla Protection Project has succeeded in their mission. Hélène, what we just experienced was remarkable, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
After a day filled with so much emotion, there's nothing quite like a refreshing wash. Welcome to my bathroom, which I think I can confidently say is one of the most stunning in the world, as you can tell. There are certain things that you're better off learning about after a nice bath. You see, my bathroom is luxurious, but it's also a very popular spot.
Mathieu, remember I told you about the python we saw in the river not too long ago? Here are some photos if you're interested, if you want to take a look.
Yeah, of course I'm interested. So this happened nearby?
Yes, it's about a 10-minute boat ride away, not even, on one of the beaches.
Okay, but what's it wrapping itself around?
A crocodile. A long-nosed crocodile.
It managed to kill the crocodile?
Most likely. It was an incredible sight, I must say.
Does the conservation work you're doing here resonate with the locals?
What I've noticed is that there's, first and foremost, a lack of information. They're aware of gorillas, but they consider them to be aggressive animals that are better off being killed. In some regions of Gabon and other countries, people even eat them. It's always surprising to see how ignorant they are about it. When I try to explain that gorillas are an endangered and protected species, it's quite astonishing to realize how little they know. When we talk to them, most of them still think it's an animal that can't be approached, a dangerous and terrifying creature in a way.
It's hard to believe that they're terrifying when you've seen Hélène's baby gorillas. But some of them have grown into adults and are more like King Kong. They live along the Mpasa River, where Charlie, Hélène's assistant, is taking me. The day starts off humid and hot, and the mosquitoes seem to love me. There are just too many creatures in this tropical bathroom. Finding the gorillas isn't easy. Just like the elephants drinking, these great apes seek refuge deep within the forest. Despite gorilla poaching being illegal here, humans continue to hunt them for their meat. So this is a truly incredible day. We have the opportunity to see the adults that have been reintroduced, right, Charlie?
Yes.
Be careful. They want to climb onto the boat like they did earlier. When were they reintroduced here?
These 3 came from England.
With you?
No, not with me. I stayed in England at that time.
They live completely normally, like wild gorillas. Do they come here regularly at the same time, Charlie?
No. It depends.
Okay, right. It's quite entertaining to see this powerful animal sucking its finger like that. It's magnificent to see them here like this.
They're living with
Look. They were eager to join us on the boat, but in the end we preferred to watch them in their natural habitat. It's amazing. No, it's amazing. Charlie has dedicated his life to protecting gorillas, and you could say that he's got them under his skin. Charlie, I see that you've got tattoos all over, but I don't see any gorillas. Do you have any?
I do have a tattoo of a gorilla, yes.
Can you show it to us?
Would you like to see it? Yes. Okay, I can show you. Yeah, it's on my leg.
Oh, wow, magnificent. Is that a gorilla you knew?
Yes, it's Bitam, who was at the zoo where I worked. He died the year before last. Fantastic animal. So I have a tattoo of him on my leg.
So he stays with you everywhere you go?
Yeah, exactly. He's with me until I die.
Despite Hélène and Charlie's tireless work, how many of these gorillas will still be alive in Gabon and Congo 30 years from now? They face constant threats from poachers and are also vulnerable to disease. The viruses they carry can be transmitted to humans, but surprisingly, despite the risks, the demand for bushmeat, as it's called here, remains high. A walk through Makokou market shows the popularity of this sought-after delicacy. Here, I think I found a meat stall just outside the village. This must be it. Hello.
Hello?
Are you the meat seller?
Yep.
What do you have exactly?
This is mandrill monkey. There's still a pile of wild boar. The gazelle's finished. There's still a pile of that too.
All this meat, who hunted it?
Even you can go hunting.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Can I hunt monkeys?
if you know how to shoot a gun. Haven't you been to war?
No, never.
Weren't you in the French army?
No, not me.
Oh, well.
Have you heard about the diseases that are transmitted from monkeys to humans?
What disease?
People were talking about Ebola, for example.
So, monkeys gave people AIDS too?
Yeah. Have you heard about that or not?
Yes. But what can I say? Everything can give you a disease. Even the beer I drink can give me a disease.
So you're not worried about it?
No. Some people are afraid to eat monkeys because of that. They have their own reasons.
Thank you very much, Fonfon.
Goodbye.
Have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Understandably, the sellers aren't too thrilled to have their business disrupted by these kinds of questions. But the truth is undeniable. Meat from infected monkeys can cause serious harm. For a long time, the forests of Gabon remained untouched by man. However, with the development of roads and logging, the viruses they harbour now have a higher chance of crossing paths with us. That's why scientists are fully invested in their research, each adopting their unique approach. Florian's approach, as you'll soon see, is rather unconventional.
We're here because these animals are carriers of certain types of viruses that can be transmitted to humans. Our focus is on studying the transmission of these viruses in both great apes and small monkeys through bushmeat. We'll approach cautiously and we'll be able to observe them for about 15 minutes.
For the sake of scientific research, Florian isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. He's delving into an unexpected realm, the feces of large primates. You know, I've always had a thing for circus performances. It's been my passion.
At this rate.
But we do what we can.
The primary biological material we use is feces. It's a remarkably rich material that allows us to conduct a wide range of analysis. And the best part, it's a non-invasive collection method.
What does non-invasive mean exactly?
It means that we don't directly interfere with the animals themselves. We focus solely on their waste, without any contact or attempts to capture them or take blood samples. This way we have minimal impact on their natural habitat.
Florian, when your children are asked about their dad's profession at school, what do they say?
Poo collector. It's quite an esteemed title.
Well, I can imagine.
I'll explain it to them properly later on.
Now, let's head out into the field. Around here, elephants are everywhere. We're walking along their paths. And we've heard that they're not too far from us. Let's say the elephants come our way. What do we do?
Every man for himself, I suppose.
Oh, it's like that, is it? In this forest, there are no signposts to let you know where wild animals might appear out of nowhere. From a herd of elephants, monkeys swinging through the trees, to colonies of electric ants, and even venomous snakes. With every rustle of leaves, my heart skips a beat. Listen, can you hear the elephants?
Let's go.
Well, thankfully we're in capable hands. The guides who always accompany Florian know this forest like the back of their hand. They're constantly alert, with sharp eyes and ears ready to spot any suspicious activity. So you've come across a chimpanzee nest?
That's great news. We'll explore the surroundings and see if we can find any chimpanzee droppings. Not everyone can do that.
When I call like this, each group has its own territory. So when they hear me, they know there's an intruder. They come and they're prepared to fight, sometimes even wielding sticks. So when they approach like that, it's crucial to stay alert.
Well, it worked yesterday.
Did they actually come at you with sticks?
No, but they shouted back and answered our call. That's how we identified at least 2, maybe 3 groups. And to make them call again, Guy called out to them.
Here, Corentin and Florian have just discovered gorilla droppings, and we're going to collect them right away.
I'll analyze all these samples, starting with serological detection, to search for SIV antibodies. If we get positive results, we'll proceed with molecular analysis to identify the viruses. It's crucial to record GPS coordinates, as it will allow us to revisit the site if we receive positive results.
Florian, when you say positive, does that indicate the presence of a virus?
Yes, exactly, if it's SIV.
SIV is to monkeys what HIV is to humans, the virus that causes AIDS. To analyze the precious, fragrant samples he has collected in the forest, Florian will take them to the International Medical Research Centre of Franceville, CIRMF. Here we are, right on time. About 100 mandrills are living here in captivity. Researchers observe them, examine them, and run tests on them. And that's exactly what Delphine, one of the veterinarians at the Primate Centre, is about to do. So, Delphine, is this where it all happens, in this enclosure?
Yes, so you're coming with me to sedate a mandrill, an adult male named 17H.
That's his name?
Yes, his name is 17H. He's the 8th offspring of the female founder named 17.
Interesting.
Hence the code.
How old is he?
And he's 16 years old, so he's an adult.
Hang on, he's an adult.
An adult, a male adult, with imposing corpulence. Today we're going to sedate him so we can do his annual medical checkup, including a thorough examination and additional tests. We'll also take various measurements and biological samples.
Oh, there he is.
Mandrills can be quite challenging to sedate. They're quite intelligent, and they can coordinate their movements to dodge the darts or tighten their muscles so they bounce off. Especially older individuals who've been previously sedated, and they know what to expect.
They're a bit stressed.
So the whole process will take about 15 minutes.
Yes, around 10 minutes, basically.
Okay, well, let's leave him alone. The Franceville Centre is unique in Africa. Its team of 150 researchers and technicians are dedicated to finding solutions to the devastating diseases that plague not only the African continent, but mankind as a whole. Malaria, hemorrhagic fevers, AIDS, and an array of viruses are all diseases that the monkeys of these forests, our close relatives, encounter on a daily basis. This is precisely why scientists are deeply interested in studying them, conducting extensive genetic, virological, and parasitological analyses. Whew, what a collection of words.
So the animal is comfortably sedated and ready for us to proceed with the medical examinations. We must all wear protective eyewear since this individual is SIV positive, meaning he's carrying the virus but won't develop AIDS like humans. However, he could potentially transmit it to humans.
SIV, Delphine, S for simian.
Exactly.
HIV for humans, SIV for monkeys.
Exactly. African monkeys carry specific SIV viruses that are unique to certain species of monkeys. The mandrill, for instance, has its own SIV. These animals are believed to be asymptomatic carriers, meaning they carry the virus but do not develop immunodeficiency syndromes like humans. If we could replicate the same response in humans as monkeys have, it would open up new perspectives for HIV treatment or even a vaccine.
How long has AIDS existed in monkeys?
The SIV virus in monkeys has been present in African monkey populations for hundreds of thousands of years.
Oh, I see.
Whereas the emergence of HIV in humans is believed to date back only to the 1920s.
We can almost say that 17H is our cousin, right, Barthélemy?
Yeah, he's our cousin, but our closest cousins are chimpanzees, with whom we share 99.8% of our genes. But the mandrill is still related to us.
But not as closely related to us as the chimpanzee. 17H, thank you for your patience, and before you wake up, I want to thank you for your contribution to science. Monkeys infected with SIV can transmit the virus to humans. However, unlike in monkeys, HIV in humans is deadly as it causes AIDS. Oh, if only Mandrill 17H and his companions could share with us the secret of their resistance to this disease. Gaining a deeper understanding of these viruses, their mechanisms of growth and spread, is the key objective of the research carried out by scientists here in Franceville. In this field, the CIRMF is leading the way, and its work is vital for the doctors who provide daily care to the population in hospitals around the country. To the hospital. That's precisely where I'm headed next. The country's most renowned one is situated in Lambaréné, in the heart of Gabon. It was in this small town that the renowned Dr. Schweitzer established his hospital in 1913. 100 years later, the healthcare centre continues to thrive.
You're crying?
It bit me.
What bit you?
A fly, I didn't see it. Then I scratched it.
Did anyone put anything on it? Did you come straight here? We've already performed the surgical excision phase, and we're waiting for the wound to heal well before proceeding with a skin graft. There's no need to cry.
In this forested area, there are a wide range of illnesses. These young patients are suffering from buruli ulcers, a condition that is prevalent in tropical regions spanning from South America to Australia, including Africa.
How are you doing?
All right.
Are you better? This is a case of a buruli ulcer that we had already treated for 2 months at the hospital. It has improved, but there are areas where we need to redo the skin graft. So when she came, we treated all of it. She's a girl who arrived with her entire right upper limb swollen, which you could compare to my arm. The diagnosis was clear from the beginning, and now she's in the healing phase.
Dr. Grégoire has extensive knowledge of these ulcers, which can have severe consequences if not treated promptly. However, in these rural areas, people often opt to consult traditional healers instead, risking the exacerbation of the illness.
I believe you now have a good understanding of buruli ulcers, and you can explain it well to others. This is a typical case. Initially, they sought the help of a traditional healer known as the Ganga, who provided traditional remedies. She spent a month with the Ganga before finally visiting her uncle, who is a nurse at the hospital. He recognized it as a buruli ulcer and advised her to seek treatment at the hospital. This decision saved her life and enabled her to have a fully functional lower limb today.
The scientists working in Lambaréné are the true heirs of Dr. Schweitzer, albeit without the moustache and colonial helmet. His presence still permeates this place. In his wake, doctors and researchers continue to work towards finding remedies and vaccines that could cure diseases like malaria, the leading cause of death in Africa. Sir, the local ferry is ready for us. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mathieu.
Perfect.
Awesome. Let's go, Rodrigue. Here we go. Our journey continues in this canoe, gliding along the Ivindo River. The lush green paradise I've been immersed in since my arrival in Gabon conceals an array of hidden danger. The researchers I'm joining have their sights set on their next target, Ebola, arguably the world's most dangerous virus. However, the team of virologists I'm accompanying is gearing up to hunt it down in the depths of remote forest caves. Our expedition has one simple objective: capturing bats suspected of carrying the virus. But we're not there just yet.
This place is truly stunning.
Oh, it's absolutely magnificent. Since I arrived in Gabon, my perspective on nature has undergone a profound transformation. In the heart of the forest, I sense an unseen and unsettling energy. Nature embodies both death and life, serving as both poison and remedy. If the viruses that plague us were born in the forest, then it must hold the antidote sought by researchers, an antidote concealed within this remarkable pharmacy. From 1994 to 1997, the Makokou region where we are currently located was hit hard by the Ebola virus. Highly contagious, it swiftly took the lives of numerous men, women and children, as well as decimating entire populations of monkeys. This occurred in close proximity to the camp where the Baka pygmies reside. Despite their profound understanding of the forest, which they utilized to treat a wide range of illnesses, they were as helpless as the scientists.
Here, this is the tree that treats malaria.
So this is used for malaria?
Yes.
Jean-Jacques, how do you use this tree to treat malaria? Is it the bark that you use? Can you show me the process? So what do you do exactly?
Now he's going to show us how to prepare the medicine. Let's go. So now he's taking the medicine. He takes the preparation and tastes it to see if it's suitable for the sick person.
So this is the medicine you took?
I'll taste it too.
The bark. It's very bitter?
It's very bitter.
That's not very nice. Can I taste it?
Be careful, it's hot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's really bitter. Here, Jean-Jacques, I don't have malaria, so you can keep it. Our bat expedition is about to begin. Well, almost. Mathieu and Peggy Moch, both ecologists and experts in natural habitats, are working together to prepare this former CNRS research centre, which will serve as our base camp and laboratory. This is where the bats will be dissected and analysed. We're facing a high-risk expedition, as the potential of contracting a virus from contact with animals is very real. I feel like we're treading on thin ice, like bomb disposal experts. And the bomb in this case is Ebola. With all of this, I almost feel like I've overcome my fear of snakes. Well, almost. Look, look.
Its venom is really, really potent.
It's as if it's still alive.
Ouais. À fond.
Super.
Ça, c'est beau.
That's nice. Are we likely to encounter snakes, Peggy, during our bat hunting?
We might come across vipers in the forest, but in the caves we might encounter pythons.
Ah oui, dans les
In the
retours,
caves we're heading to.
On n'est jamais
Well, we're never alone, that's for sure.
Oui, voilà, c'est ça.
So, Mathieu, has the bat expedition begun?
Hey, Mathieu, let me show you something. The water vine.
Water vine?
It's forest-made water. This vine is actually filled with water.
Where does it come from?
It's water drawn from the ground by the vine and taken inside.
Where is it? It's mineral water, Mathieu.
Exactly.
Hop.
Okay, let's go.
Here we go.
I think we need to hurry because we have to arrive before nightfall, Mathieu.
Yes, we'll have to pick up the pace.
You know, it's funny how we know that this forest is teeming with animals, insects everywhere, but we don't see them. They're hiding. You know, when we think of scientists, we imagine them in white lab coats in their labs. But I realize that science can be very sporty and adventurous. After 2 hours of trekking through this pitch-black forest, darker than the night itself, we are approaching the bat cave. We can now spot bats emerging, and we're fortunate to have the help of the local villagers for the captures.
Indeed, it simplifies matters as they are intimately familiar with the intricacies of this forest.
You saw the bat fly by?
They use two methods to navigate. First, they create distinct markings in the forest with specific shapes. And secondly, they notch the sides of tree trunks. It's their way to determine the direction of their flight.
Ay, ay, ay. It's hard to even see where we're stepping with all these creatures crawling around, waiting eagerly, perhaps just for me, to begin their feast. What possessed me to join these mad researchers on this virus hunt? Wouldn't mind the cozy comfort of my studio right now. Look, the bats are swirling all around us. And we're quickly setting up the first net. Time is of the essence. We've got to put our protective suits on and catch them.
Let's gather all the plastic equipment here.
It's time to suit up for a high-security fashion show. We can't leave anything to chance. Ebola is no laughing matter. Once we're done, we can get down to business.
Watch your step, it's slippery.
Are there no other paths, Mathieu?
Come down, be careful. There's water on the left, so walk on the right. Oh no, it's... we have to walk on the rocks here.
Haven't we reached the infamous Falcon Cave we've been hearing about for so long? As you can see, the bat activity is already buzzing.
All right, we'll go collect the dead bats. Do you have any plastic bags? See that dark mass ahead? It's a buildup of bat guano, sometimes reaching over 2 meters. Walk exactly where I walk, because a few centimeters to the left or to the right, and you could sink. Look, Mathieu, there's a dead bat right there.
The thick layer of excrement looks like quicksand, with worms squirming underfoot. It stinks, and with the slightest mistake, we could get stuck in it. Science is beautiful, but I must admit, it's downright terrifying right now. All right, it's time to set up the nets. Are you ready?
I want the net placed outside the cave, not inside. Watch out, there's a snake over there at the cave entrance. There.
What is it? What kind of snake?
What is it? Quick. Go, quick. Go. Careful. Come on.
So you need to bring them back alive to the lab tomorrow morning, right?
Yes, to collect the necessary samples. It's better for them to remain alive until tomorrow morning.
So you put them in bags?
We'll place them in cloth bags called containment bags, allowing them to breathe and survive until then.
The bats are swirling around us. If my scientist friends are venturing so close to them, defying snakes and treacherous ground, it's because they are the primary targets of their investigation into the Ebola virus. When night falls, they emerge in search of their food, primarily fruits, which they inadvertently contaminate. However, these same fruits are also favored by monkeys, who can become infected with the virus. And since humans consume both monkeys and bats, they are at great risk of becoming infected themselves. I'm going to take off my suit now, because it must be around 40 degrees in this sauna. Then we have a 2-hour walk and a 3-hour car ride before we finally get to sleep in a bed with a mattress. Honestly, I'm actually relieved to be leaving this bug-infested cave with all these creatures and viruses. Can't wait to reach the base and deliver the goods. It's 4 in the morning. Perfect. We'll take them to the lab tomorrow morning. What time do they start?
They should start around 6 or 7. That's what I heard.
Strange to think that we might have been carrying an Ebola virus in the trunk of the car. It's a possibility, considering we potentially had a few viruses tagging along with us. At the crack of dawn, the day team, led by Eric, steps in to dissect the bats captured last night. Eric is a renowned virus hunter, recognized for his groundbreaking research in virology and honored with the esteemed Mathieu Prize in 2009. So, Eric, you all set to get started?
Absolutely. We're entering a crucial phase in our research on viruses in animals, the dissection stage. Our main objective is to collect as many organs as possible, including portions of the liver, spleen, heart, lungs, brain, and even the salivary glands. We've observed in recent years that most of the outbreaks and pandemics, like Ebola and Marburg fever, have originated from bats and transmitted to humans. It's vital for us to definitively establish that these bats are the reservoirs for the Ebola virus. This knowledge will play a crucial role in persuading communities that regularly consume these animals to change their habits and either stop consuming them altogether or at the very least minimize their contact with them.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, It's really tough, especially with all the babies around.
Baby bats.
Yeah.
Is it something you always feel when doing this kind of work?
Yeah, I can't. I'm a bit sensitive about it.
Well, take a little break to gather yourself.
Yeah, it's good to have a little break.
Well, it's good to understand why you're doing this, too.
Yeah, that's why we have to push aside our emotions towards these things, I mean, the little ones and all, because we believe that all of this will contribute to our understanding of viruses and eventually save lives. But it does get you a bit, you know?
It's also what research and science is about.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it.
Upon arriving here, I was initially in awe of the beauty of the gorillas and elephants I encountered in the dense vegetation of the Gabonese forest. It was a reality far more extraordinary than the adventure tales I used to read as a child. However, along with that comes an awareness of the dangers present in this environment. Dangers that are no longer exotic, but must be faced in order to advance research. Because while all this unfolds, diseases like AIDS, Ebola, and Marburg fever continue to wreak havoc. After a week of collecting biological samples, every sample is meticulously documented before being sent to the renowned CIRMF in Franceville. I decided to make my way back there. This is where the world's most dangerous viruses are managed. Only a handful of such establishments exist worldwide. The one in Gabon, nestled deep in the heart of the rainforest, stands at the forefront of the battle against viruses. Gilda, a virologist, is part of Eric's team. So it's great because, as you know, Gabon is a remarkably cool country, which means we'll be a little less cool ourselves.
Yes, it's a bit warm because we need to be comfortable.
Ready to take on the realm of viruses. Let's go.
Here, put this on. Here.
Let's go.
Right.
Gilda, do you copy?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Starting up. You ready? Can you feel the breeze?
Yeah, it's pleasant.
It's refreshing.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
We appreciate it. Now, you'll get accustomed to the sound of the engine accompanying you.
We might look like characters from a cheesy superhero film, but looking ridiculous is a small price to pay. Here we are, finally inside this P4 laboratory. There are only 2 labs like this in Africa, one here in Franceville and the other in South Africa, and only one in France, in Lyon. With Gilda, we will continue our journey to uncover the secrets of these viruses and understand how they are dealt with in this laboratory.
Are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready, and I'm right behind you. The lab has a system in place to prevent contaminated air from escaping outside. If that were to happen, it would be a disaster for the population.
Now, Mathieu, we're going to enter the level 4 containment area. It's where we completely protect the experimenter from the pathogen we're working with.
So in this case, we're dealing with the risks of Ebola and Marburg.
That's right.
Can you show me how you go about it?
This is the next step. Let's go. Ebola is particularly unique because it's a rapidly fatal disease with a death rate of around 90%. It's extremely aggressive and spreads through direct person-to-person contact. It's something that's extremely frightening. Nowadays, most outbreaks occur in isolated and confined areas, preventing widespread dissemination. But in a large city, it could be catastrophic.
We find ourselves deep in the equatorial forest, surrounded by cutting-edge technology. It feels like something out of a science fiction story. My trip to Gabon draws to a close. Without realizing it, I have been enveloped by its stunning beauty. This vibrant and powerful nature can be lethal if disturbed. It surpasses our understanding, despite the tireless efforts of scientists to unravel its mysteries. Preserving it is crucial to prevent the escape and spread of these viruses. In Gabon, just like anywhere else, there are organizations dedicated to preserving these exceptional natural habitats. One such example is the World Conservation Society, which works towards safeguarding Gabon's diverse wildlife. Modeste is involved in these efforts and often positions himself on the Mopia platform.
Well, it's time for us to go as well. Honestly, I believe it's worth it because up there we might be greeted by a surprise right next to the quarry. So I'll lead the way, but let's proceed in silence.
We'll conclude our journey in Gabon with the breathtaking sight, a family of elephants drinking from a watering hole. So, Modeste, what can you tell us about the incredible wildlife of Gabon and these elephants drinking here?
Initially, I never realized how affectionate elephants could be. It was back in 2003 at the Longway watering hole when I witnessed something remarkable. I was observing a group of 30 elephants when tragedy struck. A female accidentally stepped on a newborn calf, causing its untimely death. In that moment, the entire group scattered and fled, startled by the lifeless body. However, the female elephant, the mother of the calf, refused to leave. She remained there alone, waiting for her baby to wake up. Eventually, a young male returned to provide support, and they stayed by each other's side until we left. This experience made me realize the importance of protecting these magnificent creatures, who also crave affection.
Well, let's cherish this incredible opportunity to witness them right before our eyes. The elephants are making their way back to the forest, and as for me, it's time to return to France. I will forever cherish the intense encounters I had in Gabon with these extraordinary men and women and the presence of these wild animals. I miss them already. Celine, you're an ecologist.